If you're struggling on defense in college football 26, this video is for you. These are 10 defensive tips that will help you get more stops. Some are brand new mechanics, others are advanced level adjustments, but all of them will help you play better defense right now. Now let's get into it. Tip number 1 is go for the swat instead of the pick on deep balls. Now let me give you some examples here. I want to make it very clear that you don't always want to swat. Sometimes you do want to go for the pick, but on these kind of balls where it's kind of like a deep go ball on the outside, defensive back turns his head, it's going to be very hard to press wire triangle to get the pick here. That kind of thing happens very frequently if you press wire triangle. So I'll do this a few more times just to show you that it's very unlikely that you're ever going to catch these kind of picks. Like, it can happen, but no eyes, no pick is a feature that they wanted to implement because there was defensive backs getting these kind of psychic interceptions where their back is turned and they're still kind of just reaching up into the air and getting these interceptions, which is a little bit unrealistic, I agree, but this kind of thing happens all the time. Like, the receiver has a real chance at it, especially if they ag you, and you kind of don't. So what I recommend doing on those kind of balls is pressing X or square and going for the swat because it's going to be way more consistent. You're going to get that pass breakup, and the receiver is less likely to ag you. So let's try that again. Let's go for the swat with X or square. You're going to see that we're going to get the pass breakup very consistently. And on this rep, I'm going to try to ag the receiver, and we'll see what happens. It's going to be really hard to do with two controllers. Couldn't get the ag. And the swat mechanic's actually pretty good. And from what I've seen in-game, this is going to be reliable if you want to for sure don't allow completion and have less of a chance of getting agged. Tip number 2 is make sure to utilize your custom zone stems. So this is the new feature. This is not the custom zone drops that you'll find in the coaching adjustments. This is the new feature that they added that allows you to on the fly change how your zones play like this. So let me show you a good use case for this and what you can do, because one of the most annoying routes in the game right now are drag routes, because the way default zones drop, they drop very far back. You can get 5 to 10 yards with your tight end on a drag very easily, and these hook zones are just always going to be dropping too far. So what you can do is actually change how far they drop without setting your hooks to 5 in your coaching adjustments. The way to do that is use B or circle, and then your left stick to target the defender you want to custom zone drop. So I'm now on this guy right here because this is where the drag was hurting us. So I'm going to press A or X, LB, and then use your left stick to move your hook zone down a little bit. So you can maybe go like right here. This is going to do a better job at defending that tight end drag. Let's have a look. You're going to see that he stays shallow, and he's going to go over and make that hit. He's now playing that part of the field instead of dropping all the way into Narnia. And just to be clear, this can be done with any zone on the field, which allows you to get creative with what you're doing. So let's say you wanted to put this guy in a middle third, and then you want to be like, okay, let's protect the deep sideline on the right a little bit better. Let's go ahead and drop this guy back, maybe to about here. So maybe here's a little bit better, because then he can actually defend corner routes if they come his way, but also give the illusion that he's defending the deep sideline. So let's have a look at that. Let's put Y on a corner route. You're now going to see that he's going to get back, but he's also going to play that corner route. So yes, if he waited long enough, that streak would be open on the outside. But when you have the ability to just on the fly change how this zone is playing, you can get creative with what you're doing on the back end. So obviously, if you wait for that streak to pass, then you're going to get the touchdown. So it's not something you want to do every snap, but you kind of get a nice in-between there of defending a corner route and also defending a streak for long enough. So I'll show you one more time. Try to throw the corner route. You're going to see that we get nice defense from that outside cornerback. Tip number 3 is use your coaching adjustments to align your safeties. So if you go to the defensive play call screen and then press your right stick in for coaching adjustments and go all the way down, you're going to see that you have safety depth, safety width, and safety midpoint. I recommend messing with these and getting your safeties a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage. That's going to help against the run. It's also going to help clog up the pass lanes. So what I recommend is using close. This is going to have your safeties 8 yards off the line of scrimmage. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. And then for safety width, usually you want to use pinch. That's going to keep them more so in the box instead of super wide. But depending on the formation your opponent's in, you'll want to change that up. So here's what pinch and close look like. You have these two safeties down 8 yards from the line of scrimmage, and they're also pinched, meaning they're between the hashes. So against a formation like gun bunch, you might want the safety to be a little bit further over here. You can just manually move him. And what that's going to do is just help prevent seam streaks and things like that. But having these safeties up here is very helpful for defending run game because, especially in cover four, whether in run support, we'll talk about that more later. But this is the kind of ideal look that you want to be using on an any down basis. And the reason for that is it's very hard to get over the top of these safeties that are only 8 yards off. So let's have a look. I know it's just the tight end, but you're going to see that he is not going to get outran. Even if that's a receiver, I'll go ahead and do RB on the streak instead and do something more like this. You're going to see that you're really not at any risk of getting bombed, and you get the benefit of them being closer to the line of scrimmage. You can use this safety alignment with other coverages as well. So here's a cover two example. In years past, I'd be a little bit skeptical of using safeties this close to the line of scrimmage in cover two, but this year they defend the sidelines pretty well. Right there, we got some help from our outside cornerback. He jammed him really far inside. But let's say we shade coverage down and we don't get the jam animation. We're still going to defend the sideline really well. So don't worry about your safeties being too close to the line of scrimmage. Quick heads up, if you want full schemes, in-depth breakdowns, and weekly updates for college football 26, check out acemadden.com. Everything's built to help you win more games, and if you use code ACE at checkout, you'll get 25% off. My first scheme of the year is live out of the UAB playbook, so if you just want to have no issue scoring whatsoever, go check it out. Become a member, you gain access to everything on the site. Now let's get into it. Tip number 4 is mix up your coverages and what you're doing on defense in general. If you just spam the exact same coverage, like mid-blitz cover 0 the entire game, anybody decent is going to dot you up all game. Yes, if you use this against your little brother or a noob, you will probably pop them with this blitz because they just won't know how to deal with the pressure. But anybody who's been around for a while, they're going to know how to dot you. I'll show you an example. If I see double mug, I'm either going to block my tight end or have him on a delay route, wheel my running back, and then have some other man beating routes on the field. You're going to see that it's very easy to dot this up. You're going to get plenty of time to attack this cover 0. Get the ball out of your hands into one of your man beating routes. Right there, we actually got pressured pretty good. But we still got the ball out. We picked up the pressure pretty easily. And what you could do to make this even better for yourself is untarget the defender. So that's just a little bonus tip. I know that's not really defense related. But if you want to do that, flick up on your right stick, move this flame icon to the user defender, select him, and that's just going to make your pass protection even better. So if you see this mid blitz, I recommend doing something like this. And it's just going to be very easy to attack this, hit one of your man beating routes, and potentially get a one-play touchdown. But just to be clear, that doesn't just apply to mid blitz. It applies to any defense that you're spamming. So let's say you love cover 2. If I see that you're calling cover 2 over and over again, I'm going to draw something up that attacks a cover 2. That's just common sense, right? Anybody who's been playing the game for a while knows some fundamental ways to attack it. And that's like a double streak on one side because that puts a lot of pressure on that safety to defend both streaks. That's just from knowing ball, basically. You can hit the other streak too. And this is just, again, from knowing the weaknesses of a cover 2. So a way to counter that, let's say your opponent knows how to beat a cover 2 and he's shown that to you. You can use quick adjustments, or you can just manually go to the defenders and change your coverage shell to something more like this. Now we're playing a form of cover 3 cloud, kind of cover 3 match on one side. And if they run the exact same cover 2 concepts, well, it's not going to work anymore. That streak is no longer open. So that's the importance of changing up your coverage shell. If you can't do it with quick adjustments, I would recommend just changing up your play in general. And what you can do to make it all look the same is use your coverage shells. So if you look underneath the play calls, you have your right stick up and down for coverage shells. And you can make it all look like cover 2. So let's say you wanted to come out in cover 3 sky. You're going to see that we still have the 2 high safeties. And it looks like a cover 2, but it's actually a cover 3. So that's the importance of mixing up your coverages. Tip number 5 is use cover 4 as a base run defense. This is going to be good pass defense too. But the reason I'm mentioning this is that a lot of people think that cover 4 is like a form of prevent defense, when it's really not. Like these safeties are by nature in run fits. And what run fits means is that they are in run support. And the reason that they can be in run support is they're only responsible for a quarter of the field. So they can take the read steps, see if it's a run play, and then come crashing down if it is. So watch the safeties. You're going to see that they come down immediately and blow up the run. So cover 4 is fundamentally a good run defense. Now you can make this even better by taking advantage of one of the things we talked about earlier by going to your safety depth and putting it on something like close and then doing pinch. We'll go ahead and turn cover 2 shell off. Come out in cover 4. And now you're going to see that the safeties are closer to the line of scrimmage and ready to blow up the run. Now, depending on the run that your opponent uses, in this case, we're using stretch. These safeties might be a little too close together. You're going to see if they're close to the line of scrimmage and they're also pinched, it can be easy to get them to suck down in some cases and hit the edge. So let me try flipping the run where we have more room to the other side, see if it happens. So it didn't quite happen there, but it can happen. I just want to make that very clear. If the safeties are close, sometimes they just come running straight down and not towards the edge. And it can be easy to hit the edge, is what I'm trying to say. In the event that that's happening, just move them a little bit further wide just to help with that. So we'll try that again. So right there, he almost hit the edge. It was very close actually. But I just want to be mindful, or want you to be mindful of your safety placement. Depending on the run, if they're really doing a lot of outside runs, you might want them to be a little bit further outside. And then if they're doing a lot of inside runs, usually you do want them kind of pinched like this. So in general, cover 4, very good run defense. Tip number 6 is utilize defensive line stunts. This is a new feature that they added. I've gone over this in a different video, but just to kind of reiterate, you can use stunts on pretty much any formation. I would say that 4 down lineman sets are going to have the better stunts. So I would recommend looking at 4 D-line sets like dime. And all you have to do at the play call screen is hold the play button that you want to call. So let's say you want to call Tampa 2. You would hold X, and then this menu is going to pop up, and it's going to give you all of these different stunts that you can pick from. So let's say you wanted to do Texas 4-man. You would just let go, and it's going to call that for you. And let's come out in shotgun and have a look at this. You're going to see your play art is going to have these stunts baked in. Now, if you want to do it after breaking the huddle, you can do that too. I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to reset and then press D-pad left and then RB for stunts. And you have your stunts here as well. And you would just use the D-pad to go to the different options. Again, you're going to have more options in 4 down lineman sets. So if you really want to play around with stunts, I would recommend looking at those formations. But I'm telling you right now, there is going to be a busted blitz at some point that involves stunts, because stunts are pretty good when they work properly. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on how to use stunts, and definitely mess around with these and let me know if you come up with something good. Tip number 7 is use route commit when you know a route is coming. Route commit is a new feature that allows you to guess which way your receiver is going to break and kind of commit to that side and try to take that away. So let's say your opponent's been spamming a tight end corner route, which is one of the best routes in the game for beating man coverage. You're going to see that oftentimes your man coverage defender is going to give up separation. This is without any kind of route commit. This is just stock man coverage. Like, look at that. Like, there's no reason this guy should be getting beat that badly. So what you can do now is you can route commit. This is a man coverage feature. So you need to either be in a man coverage play or you need to man a player up and then route commit. So what you would do here is you would press Y and then A for individual. Select the player you want to route commit on. In this case, it's A. And then what you would do in this case is use left stick right. That's going to do a route commit outside. Now notice the difference in how he covers his tight end corner route. He is all over it, and he's going to break that up most of the time. Just keep in mind that you can route commit the wrong way. So let's say we route commit outside, and then the tight end is like, okay, I'm just going to go inside. Well, what you're going to notice is you're oftentimes going to give separation the other way. So you are gambling on a 50-50. If your opponent's not mixing up his routes, you're usually going to bag him. But if he is mixing in his routes, you need to be careful on how you use this feature. Tip number 8 is that shading your coverage affects both man and zone coverage. So let's say we're playing a cover one. So right now we are playing a cover one. If you shade your coverage down, all of your man coverage defenders are going to be playing shade underneath. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to press Y or triangle, right stick down for underneath. And now they're playing more aggressively towards short routes. So think like zigs, drags, stuff like that. The problem with that is if they're playing backed off coverage and you shade underneath, you're going to give up one play touchdowns because they're going to suck down towards the line of scrimmage and give streaks up. Now, what you need to be aware of is that this affects zone coverage as well. So let's say let's go ahead and audible to a cover 2. So we'll do Tampa 2. And I want you to focus on the yellow zones in the middle of the field. You're going to notice that they drop really far back by default. So you can throw drags for like 15 yards, which is pretty insane. What you can do to combat that a little bit is shade your coverage down. So if you press Y or triangle and then right stick underneath or down for underneath, these hook zones, they don't look any different, but they're going to play a lot different. But I do want to mention that this is going to turn your cloud flats on the outside into hard flats, and they're going to be aggressively playing the flats. And if you don't want that to happen, just change them back into cloud flats. So now we have shaded down hooks in the middle, and we still have cloud flats on the outside. So watch what happens when we run the same route combo. You're going to see that this hook zone is going to contest this drag way better because he's a shaded down hook. Now what you can do is mix the two together. So let's say we want to man up the tight end with this guy, shade underneath. Now watch what happens. We have a shaded down man coverage defender who's all over him because they play underneath way better. And then you have a hook curl to help there too. So I just wanted to make that very clear. If you shade underneath, it's going to affect every zone on the field that's not a deep zone. So just keep that in mind. Tip number 9 is that you need to utilize zone drops on 3rd and long and 4th and long situations. So let's just imagine it's a 3rd and 20 right now. And your opponent is trying to drop a route combo that might convert, get them a first down. And we're in a defense like cover 4 drop because cover 4 drop is just naturally good at preventing big plays. I want you to focus on this curl flat defender over here. He is responsible for defending the sideline. But if we come up with a route combo that attacks the sideline like this, we can maybe hit a stemmed corner route right over it like this. And the curl flat's not there to defend it. This is where zone drops come in. Now you could, of course, protect the sticks, but I'm telling you right now, protect the sticks doesn't really work that well. The zones drop very slowly, and it applies to every zone that's underneath your deep zones. So it's not great. You really don't usually want that to happen. So what I'm going to do is show you how to take that corner route away. So press your right stick in at the play call screen. Go all the way down. In this case, we're going to use curl flats. And you can change this to 20 or 25. I think 25 would probably be a little bit better here. If it's 3rd and 20, I find adding an extra 5 yards is better. And we'll run the exact same route combination now. And I want you to pay attention to how that curl flat plays. So watch the sideline now. You're going to see that curl flat gets way back, and he's not going to allow that throw. So that is the importance of using zone drops in those kind of situations. Really protect the sticks by using them. And then for tip number 10, if your opponent keeps untargeting you, feel free to user rush them. So we're going to use mid blitz as an example here. I talked about this earlier with blocking your tight end. But another easy way to pick this up is just to block your running back and then untarget this defender. And this is going to easily pick up the pressure. You're going to get hat on hat consistently. And it's just an easy way to deal with the blitz. I prefer tight end so you can send your running back on a wheel. But besides the point, that is a great way to handle most pressures. What you can do now is if they keep picking up your pressure, they're probably untargeting. And what that means is you can start dropping guys into coverage and user rushing them. So maybe do something like this. Let's say they block the running back and then untarget you again. Just run straight down at the quarterback like this. Like if you know that they're doing it, why not? Like you're going to get a free rusher because the offensive line is not paying attention to you. Now that doesn't mean that you can just user rush and come free regardless of how many people you send. The offensive line's not that dumb. Like I'll show you. We'll drop. Let's just drop like everybody into coverage pretty much. So everybody's dropping in coverage. Block running back on target user. You're going to see that they're still going to get you. Like they're not that stupid, but you can still, drop certain blitzes that you can get a free rusher pretty easily. Sending maybe 3 people at the quarterback plus your user. So just to show you again, this is the one I was using. Block running back on target. Just run straight down at the quarterback. Right there we did get picked up, but most of the times you're going to be good. Anyways, that's it for the video. Hopefully these tips help you become a better defensive player in college football 26. And if you want additional tips and schemes to help you win even more games, go to acemadden.com and become a member. You can use code ACE for 25% off. You gain access to everything that's on the site. See you guys in the next one.